been a huge part of this year. Like, it's just been so challenging, like being active and playing 4 games and then not, and like not feeling the best, and then like frustrated of like how hard I worked in the off season, and then like all I do is rehab and like continue to do this process, and just like trying to trust that the best I can. And obviously there's really frustrating days. There's days where like it's a little bit easier and like you're very, very motivated and like you're close to the finish line of getting back and being back. And then like, it's not like I have a training camp to like build up to like playing my first game again. It's like, no, like you're tossed into game 30, like go try to play well. Like it's hard, like it really is. And I think it has given me really good perspective on like what a lot of my teammates and people that I've, teams I've been a part of, like certain people have had to go through. Like I've never been through anything like this. And I think that's probably why it's been so hard, because like I've never really dealt with injury, and that's probably been a challenge in itself, because like when I first like was feeling pain, like I didn't understand it. Like I didn't know. I was like, am I just tight? Like, am I just getting old? Do I need to hit a stretch? Do I need to get like a little rubbed out? Do I need some icy hot? Like what's going on here? So I think it's been a balance of like understanding my body. And I know like, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, and even throughout my career, I'm going to be very thankful for this moment. I think early on with the first couple injuries, I was like, oh, like I need to get back. Like, but I think like my mom texted me like after this last injury, and like they know how hard it's been on me, but my mom was like, you've taken so much time for everybody else. Like you have to take time for yourself now. So just trying to do that the best I can too.
Viewership and ticket sales are like up across the WNBA, and then and they're also, when you don't play, there's a dip, like a substantial dip. So how do you handle, does it impact your patience? You know what I mean? Like you're coming back from this injury and everybody knows this, that when you play that changes.
Yeah.
I guess the better question is, how are you like managing it so it doesn't impact your patience?
Stats told a story the Fever couldn't ignore. Clark's presence directly impacted their success. With her in the lineup, they posted a strong 8-5 record. Without her, they hovered at an even 9-9, struggling to maintain momentum. The difference showed off the court, too. Attendance dipped whenever she wasn't playing, and TV ratings reflected the same trend. A marquee May 17th clash against Chicago pulled in about 2.5 million viewers, one of the season's biggest audiences, while later games missing Clark and other stars averaged closer to 1.5 million on ABC. In her absence, the Fever were not only missing their leading scorer and playmaker, but also navigating stretches where injuries left them with as few as 9 active players. League roster rules sometimes restricted quick hardship signings, making the challenge even steeper as they fought to keep their playoff hopes alive. Interviews: what happens when the WNBA's biggest star goes down with an injury, and the league acts like nothing happened? Caitlin Clark has finally addressed it head-on in a candid sit-down with Subbird, her most revealing conversation yet about her recent setbacks. For the first time, she spoke openly about the emotional strain of being thrown back into her 30th game without the preparation she felt she needed, and how that eye-opening moment gave her a new appreciation for what her injured teammates have endured. Clark detailed the mental battle of watching from the bench as the league's TV numbers shifted noticeably during her absence. Her honesty in this interview pulls back the curtain on not only the personal cost of her recovery, but also the uncomfortable truth about just how much the WNBA depends on her presence. So here's the question: is it time for the league to step up, fix the officiating, and do more to protect its stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Caitlin Clark's season took an unexpected turn when injuries began piling up, each one hitting harder than the last. It started in the preseason with a left quad issue, a challenge she'd never experienced in her basketball career. That setback turned into a season-shaping battle. From May 28th to June 10th, she was sidelined for 5 games due to a left quad strain. Just when she thought she was back on track, a left groin injury forced her to miss 4 more regular season games and the Commissioner's Cup final between June 26th and July 5th. Then came the most difficult blow, a right groin injury on July 15th that's kept her off the court ever since. This stop-and-go season has tested Clark's mental resilience in ways that no physical challenge ever had before. The constant uncertainty weighed on Clark in ways she never could have imagined. In college, she never missed games. Now she was facing the unforgiving reality of the WNBA's physical grind. In her conversation with Subbird, Clark summed it up bluntly: there was no training camp, no gradual build-up. One day you're dropped straight into game 30 and told to trust your body, hoping it holds up once you hit the court. That relentless stop-and-start rhythm became the toughest part of her season, more frustrating than any single injury itself. During this difficult stretch, a message from her mom struck a chord. "You've spent so much energy on everyone else. It's time to focus on yourself." Those words hit Clark differently. Suddenly, the pressure to rush back wasn't just about getting on the court again. It was about recognizing that her own health had to come before the weight of other people's expectations. That it became a turning point, reshaping how she saw her responsibilities both as a player and as a person.
Definitely been hard.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm gonna go to every road game no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not. Like, and it's hard because obviously I do feel this like responsibility of like being out there and playing, and like, not that I like think there's like a fear of any of this ever going away. Like, that doesn't happen when like LeBron or Steph get hurt. Like, they're always going to be there.
No,
like,
you'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like, you do want to play. Like, you want to give people something to cheer about or scream about, or, you know, people spend so much time and money and resources to come and watch you play.
Going through this stretch gave Clark a new perspective on what her injured teammates endure and highlighted how vital she had become to the league's momentum. Without her dynamic scoring and sharp playmaking, the Fever's offense often fell into predictable patterns. Other players were forced to take on roles they weren't fully prepared for, and the team's grip on fifth place in the standings grew shakier with every game she sat out. But the quiet resilience she had shown up to that point was about to give way, and when she finally spoke out, it would surprise just about everyone.
It's been cool to like see people continue to show up, and like for my teammates, whether they're like fans of the Fever or just fans of myself, like they're continuing to show up and support. And like, that's why I've been trying to take as much time as I can. Like, I sign autographs for way longer when I'm hurt than when I'm active.
Yeah.
So, that's never something I like wish for, but like, you know, I still want to make as much time as I can for people and, you know, give them something that they can remember. And
when Clark joined Sue Bird for an on-camera conversation, the discussion unexpectedly veered into territory that had league executives paying close attention. In a moment of unfiltered honesty, she opened up about officiating in a way that showed a bold side of her leadership few had seen before. Bird asked what it was like for her to be on the sidelines during games she missed with injury. Clark grinned and admitted she wasn't just watching, she was coaching the officials. Then, with a hint of playful defiance, she dropped the line that made everyone sit up. "If I were a ref, I wouldn't miss a call." It was the kind of remark that lingered in the air like a direct shot at league oversight.
We've all seen you on the sideline, quote unquote, coaching. What do you think?
more so coaching the refs.
Yeah.
This wasn't some light-hearted quip from a star in a bad mood. Clark's words dropped right into the heart of a season already buzzing with controversy over officiating. Across the league, the topic had become impossible to ignore. Coaches were openly voicing their concerns, and several players had even been fined for challenging the consistency of calls. Against that backdrop, her remark carried far more weight than casual sideline humor, making it impossible for the league to simply brush off.
I feel like I would be a really good ref, though, from the side.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't miss the call.
Backseat reffing.
Now that Clark stands among the WNBA's biggest attractions, her words resonate far beyond the court. Her approach blended sharp wit with undeniable conviction, signaling that she wasn't merely venting about missed calls in her favor. Backed by a deep basketball IQ, she brought real weight to her critique, the product of hours of game study and a clear grasp of fouls, positioning, and contact. From the bench, she'd watched whistles, and non-whistles, shape outcomes, spotting trends in officiating that others might miss. Her rookie year experiences with rough contact and questionable no calls only sharpened her resolve to speak up, framing her not just as a star player, but as someone determined to influence the way the game is called.
I think the most challenging part of like all this, so obviously I have the first injury and I sit out 4 games and then I come back and I play really well.
Yeah.
And I feel really good. And like even this begin the year, like I played great. Like I started the year really good. Like I felt really great. Like my numbers were great. I was shooting the ball well. And then I get hurt and it's like, okay, like you got to get healthy, whatever. You're like, I'm going to do whatever I can, you know, to get back to what I was doing and whatever, feel good.
Clark's pointed remark fit into a growing undercurrent of frustration that had been simmering around the league. For years, players had quietly shared concerns about inconsistent officiating, but Clark's star power and willingness to speak out gave those whispers a megaphone. Her comments put league officials in a delicate position. They couldn't risk alienating their most marketable player, yet ignoring her criticism risked looking weak on an issue many believed was real. but questioning the officiating was only part of the story. Beneath the humor and sound bites was a much harsher reality Clark had been living. The physical toll she faced went beyond the standard rookie welcome or the normal bumps of pro competition. In both her debut season and the one that followed, she endured contact that felt less like tough defense and more like targeted punishment. Night after night, the hits piled up, challenges that tested not just her skills, but her ability to physically withstand a style of play that seemed personal and relentless.
What was the biggest adjustment out of all of that?
I think just how much I was getting pressured. Like, it was just like constant full court. And also, I think as the season went on, like, that chilled out as much. Like, it's hard to like want to do that an entire season. Like, teams like, you don't want to pick up 94 feet the entire season. Like, that's just hard.
Clark, and plenty of others watching closely, noticed that the physical play she faced felt extreme, even by professional standards. Opponents threw constant pressure at her, using traps, full court defense, and forced angles that disrupted her rhythm and wore her down over time. She spoke about how this non-stop pressure seemed more like a deliberate campaign than normal rookie initiation. It wasn't simply about introducing her to the tougher side of the pro game. Rival teams built entire game plans to drain her energy and limit her influence through physical strain rather than purely defensive skill.
Back on your rookie year, it's, everybody's picking you up full court, trying to tire you out.
For sure.
Not let you get anything easy. They're physical with you. They're pushing you right. Everyone knows you like to go left, so now teams, you already talked about in college, they didn't really do that as much. You're getting trapped, all the things.
The intentional nature of this treatment became evident when comparing how opponents defended Clark versus other first-year players. Her rare mix of deep shooting range and elite playmaking instantly made her the focal point of hyper-aggressive defensive strategies. It wasn't just about preventing her from putting points on the board, it was about wearing her down, possession after possession, until the final buzzer. Clark acknowledged that the physical toll she's endured is unlike anything she's experienced before, admitting she had never faced a situation like this. The gap between the relative protection she received in college and the sheer physicality of the WNBA became painfully clear as her recent injury challenges mounted.
So I think that's been like the hardest part, has just been like the stop and go of everything. Like, and also like with the type of injuries that I've dealt with, like there's no real, it's not like 6 weeks. All right, you're coming back for the Connecticut Sun game on August
all about how you
30th
feel in the moment.
Or whatever. It's like, how do you feel? Like, and even like when I have been back, like I don't know how I'm going to feel the next day after playing, like when you're dealing with like these type of injuries. So I think just like the patience of dealing with all of that and giving myself a lot of grace and just trying to be the best teammate I can.
Clark's recurring soft tissue injuries, affecting her quad and groin, combined with a stop-and-go season, have amplified the debate over whether the league's biggest stars are truly being protected. Both she and her teammates have openly questioned certain calls, as well as glaring non-calls, pointing to what they view as inconsistent officiating. From the sidelines to post-game interviews, Clark has been increasingly vocal about the physical punishment she absorbs. The wear and tear she's endured is unlike anything she experienced in college. Her story forces uncomfortable questions about how the WNBA balances physical play with player safety, especially when its most marketable star is repeatedly targeted. The league's apparent willingness to let unprotected play continue has raised eyebrows about its priorities. Now, with her silence broken, Clark's candid words signal a turning point, a shift toward demanding accountability and refusing to accept a system that leaves its brightest talent vulnerable.
I think that's also been really good for me too, is like when I do go out before games and like sign autographs and like see all the young kids or fans or whoever's come to the games, like it just like gives me a really good perspective on everything and maybe gives me a little bit of motivation and just being thankful for everything that I have, like, and very thankful for like my fans and just the fans of the WNBA, of like how they can constantly continue to support and truly just want the best for me too at the end of the day. Like, I think that's something that's really cool.
Clark's candid interview changed the narrative overnight. The focus shifted from stats and highlight reels to the deeper issues of player health, officiating, and the league's responsibility to protect its biggest stars. Her raw honesty about the struggles she's faced sets a new standard for player advocacy, one the WNBA can no longer afford to ignore. Even in her absence, the Fever have stayed competitive, hovering around playoff position thanks to key performances from Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Sophie Cunningham. Their resilience, paired with Clark's newfound openness, gives real hope for when she returns fully healthy. Do you think the WNBA needs to improve officiating or offer more protection to its players? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.